Welcome, Bastronauts. This is Teal's Bass Galaxy, an endless dimension of fishing legends and degenerates connecting through raw, real, in-person conversations and stories. No, this is not your average fishing podcast. There's no rules, there's no limits. 3, 2, 1, blast off. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. Attention all Bastronauts. This podcast is supported by the Bass Galaxy's title sponsor, Waypoint Angler Supply, the Midwest's new landing pad for hardcore anglers just like you and me. If you're looking for the sneaky goods you can't find anywhere else, look no further. Waypoint Angler Supply has the largest offering of JDM tackle in the Midwest, and they are right here in Minnesota on Lake Minnetonka. This is truly a place every bass fisherman in Minnesota needs to visit because we finally have a tackle shop in the state that's as dreamy as the ones you find down south. And the staff at Waypoint Angler Supply understands the various needs of us anglers, which is why you'll find the selection there so enticing. Ross and the folks at Waypoint Angler Supply are passionate about carrying the right stuff, providing an authentic customer experience, and they listen to the anglers. And it doesn't end at JDM baits. They stock all the top U.S. brands, as well as local Minnesota brands like Veselka Fishing and Customs, Arsenal Fishing, Bait Lab Custom Swim Baits, All Terrain Tackle, Bagley Northland, Outcast Tackle, and more. So stop into their store on Lake Minnetonka or visit their website, waypointanglersupply.com. That's waypointanglersupply.com. In the month of September, use the code GALAXY2402 to save 20% on your next tackle binge. The Bass Galaxy is also supported by Veselka Fishing and Customs, Supreme Lending, Dream Team, Lake Country Insurance Services, My Wedge Motor Support, just north of Memphis, Barbecue and Catering. Thank you. Who all got frisked tonight? Friska. Not Fresca, frisked.
Define it.
That means bouncer. Frisking.
Like that means touching, a guy like rubbing on the side of your dick. You
guys watched a guy look for my dick for like 5 minutes.
Bro, that was crazy. Yeah.
He found mine right away.
That's good.
I mean, just
Teal,
throwing that out there.
He was looking for years for a while.
Yeah. Did he find it?
It's hard to find.
It's kind of like playing Where's Waldo, you know?
To me, this is really weird. And I've been to Tulsa, a couple other classics, the other two classics here in Tulsa. And now this time, they are so strict about shit. They're patting you down.
There's 2 bars, too.
Yep.
Waving your wands around in your body and like...
Dude, I
that
think they're
shit like
lures.
That never happened
like,
before.
I think they're literally looking for that good. Lures.
They must know I brought an OG Spro Chad today.
They're looking for them Koiki full casts.
Speaking of that,
oh,
hey,
dude,
we got to remember to let these guys go through the box.
Whoa. Yeah, I did bring some alien technology, so it was funny, right? I was talking to Brian New. I was like, yo, I brought some Japanese shit here from Waypoint Angler Supply. First thing he asked me, you got them full casts?
Nice.
It's like, I got one of each size. That's it. He's like, I want the big one. He got the big one from me today.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? Did he say what he's going to do? Like, what he thinks he will work with the big one?
Yeah. He said, what was it? Leaderless drop shot.
Yeah.
Yep. Leaderless drop shot. So he was talking about, like, Tokyo rigging that bitch, which seemed kind of gay to me. Like, I would just throw nail weight in the bitch and fucking throw it. Yeah. But that's just me. Charlie, what would you do?
What is a leaderless drop shot? That's what I'm wondering right now.
So it
Sounds like a wacky rig to me.
it is.
Essentially,
It's a drop
yeah.
shot without a leader.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Dude,
Wacky
that's crazy.
rig.
well, think about a bait that that bait floats, right?
Uh-huh.
So you add a little bit of weight to it and you get it tight.
Okay. So you're Nico rigging it. Is that what you're saying? So.
It's a fucking
Well,
ball
apparently.
of like.
Okay.
Have you seen
this
that?
Yeah,
is-
Yeah.
terminology doesn't
Pull it out.
make sense when
Quickie
you
doesn't
like
make
you
sense unless you
Nico
see what
rig
it
the
is.
end
It's
of
like
a tail,
this.
but it's a ball.
But black,
And it floats. It
which
floats.
means big.
In layman's terms.
See, this is like so. If you were to take like regulation size teal, this is it. if you're gonna grab Biggie Smalls,
Okay.
it ain't this size.
Yeah, it's gonna be black.
That makes
too.
sense. Jay-Z does not throw this. Neither does Kanye.
You throw one.
They throw the big one. I throw a little
I think
one.
we
I mean,
all
I
throw
know.
that.
I pick my
Didn't-
battles. You know.
Didn't Kanye leak his quickie recently? Or was it? Oh, that was Drake. That might have been Drake.
Vultures too.
That might have been Drake.
Vultures too. Though.
Yeah, I think so. I saw some headline somewhere, man. This bass fishing's getting out of
I
hand.
didn't know you were a Degrassi fan. Do you know Drake was an actor before he was a rapper?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and
A
he has a ghost
paraplegic
writer, just like
actor.
them ghost chicks that you scared away tonight.
Yeah, they were sure scared away. There's no doubt.
I want to hear what Novak has to say about this because
Which one?
John Novak, John, not Jacob, John,
John was getting a little active tonight.
you were active.
Oh.
We did the. How about the dance moves? We were doing the freaking. How many flips did we make?
I was doing the hook
We had
sets.
thousands of flips.
Thousands of flips. Dude,
If we were fishing the classic, we'd have caught at least a limit
if
tonight.
we were on Mille Lacs, we'd have caught a muskie.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
The
yeah.
fish of 10,000 flips.
Yep.
There's no doubt.
All right. So what's your opinion, Long Dong John?
That's
That's his nickname. That's what it is.
an awesome nickname, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Magic Man and El
Oh.
Diablo.
It's fun in Tulsa.
Gotcha.
What am I gonna say?
You were so talkative before we put a mic in your face.
What am I supposed to say? It was a good time. We went to
It's a really
Tulsa.
good time. I'd like to thank my wife.
It's interesting down here. It's completely different from up north, I'd say.
Yeah.
The bar scene, at least.
What's the up north bar scene like?
Like Moonlight.
The Cross Lake bar scene.
Yeah, that's about all we got. So
Them ladies like.
That's
the
all
Novaks
you
at the
got, that's
Moonlight.
right.
I've seen it
There's
myself.
about 2 people at the bar.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
no, summers are good up there, but winters are not good.
A little light.
Yep.
Well, we didn't have winter this year, so it was a good winter.
I know it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, Novak, Jacob, John. What's your middle name, Jacob?
Terry.
Terry.
If his middle name was John, that would be awesome.
Jacob John Novak. That's perfect.
And then his brother's
Oh, it's-
name John.
John Jacob.
John
Jingleheimer?
Jacob. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, it's Paul for him.
All right, Charlie. I need you to host this while I grab some stuff.
Okay.
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 You can do that for me, right?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Andy. What is your opinion on the night? Because you're kind of, just kind of laying low, spectating. I would say.
I think appropriately so.
Spectating. You know what? I would
were you
actually
up to?
rather
What
sit around a table like this
Yeah.
right now,
Okay.
talk with you guys about
Yeah.
bass fishing.
Yeah.
I love music. I love dance music, rap music, but that club situation, I'm a little too old for that shit now. I mean, that's just what it is.
You're not that old.
I am that old.
No.
What do you?
I'm 46
Gandalf,
years
don't you
old.
mean wise?
I'm
Don't you mean
I'm
wise?
old and wise
There you go.
and deaf.
What do we say? We bring Mike next.
I'll bring Mike there tomorrow.
Yeah. If he had a couple drinks, Mike would go out on the dance floor for a little bit.
I would-
He
I would
he
love to see
would
that. I would love to
he
see
would
that.
do it.
You guys.
He
would have
wouldn't
some
do it all
serious
night
competition.
long, but you could get him out there for a little bit.
I think not, Mike would be a dangerous man on the dance floor. You know. You
He's a
got all-
dangerous man in the boat, that's for sure.
We might as well go
Absolutely.
home if
Like-
Mike joins the dance floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my secret
Andy,
weapon.
does Mike bang women? Does Mike bang women upstairs and not tell you?
I don't think so.
All right, just checking.
I hope he's not banging my mom. Like, I don't want to think about my dad fucking my mom.
Would you rather
Come
have
on.
Would you rather have a fucking like the fucking?
I mean, I know I'm here because that happened,
Would you rather?
but I
have
don't
fucking
like to
something else?
think about that.
I don't want my dad cheating on my mom.
Well, no,
I'd rather have him make love to her, you
and
know?
he doesn't do that.
Good,
Of course
good.
he doesn't. But I don't
He's a good
want to
man,
think
that
about
Mike.
him fucking my mom either.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't blame you.
Just don't want to think about that.
Okay, here's now we're getting into the weirdness, right? Okay.
That's pretty weird.
Who's heard or walked in on their parents banging? In this room, I know.
Oh,
one of us
for
has.
sure.
You have?
Oh,
I
yeah.
have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it,
That
fuck,
must,
You too?
no, that must be an older generational thing. I'm
Really?
sorry, man.
No?
your parents don't love each other then.
All right. There's only two of us here who witnessed their parents banging.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't even say witnessed. It's like you saw a second and then boom, gone.
I guess I didn't see. I heard. I went up to the door and said, "Hey, I'm trying to fucking sleep."
Fuck and sleep?
Yeah. Yeah. That's back. That's back
You
when
covered on the first part.
back when me and the old lady were living at my parents' place. Hard to sleep when it's hard to do anything when your parents are upstairs doing it. Really puts a damper on things.
Is he stealing the glide bait or just taking it out of the box?
Oh, he's fondling it. Getting some
It's out of a package.
What do we
And
got here,
it's
Teal?
being fondled.
What you know about the tiny class?
What do we got here? We got some tiny
Quite
clashes.
possibly the most popular glide bait on the market right now.
The whale tail.
I call that Minnesota carp.
Looks like pike candy to me, but that's just me personally.
You can that bait. Kate Loffenberg showed me how magical that bait is. I was like, I don't hop on them trains. But Kate showed me how good that bait was, and I was pretty impressed.
Did he ever talk to you about how you can just invert the tail?
He
and
fished
has
it all
completely-
3 ways
Yeah?
that day, and the first way he's like, that's pretty cool, and he caught one, and then he twisted something around, he's like, that's not bad, caught one, and the third one, he's like, oh, this is pretty gay, and he switched him back and caught one.
There you go.
Kate Loffenberg?
Yeah,
Where'd you guys go fishing that day?
it's a pretty secret hole.
Nice.
It's,
That looks good.
It's the warm water discharge by Monticello. Big secret.
Whoa.
The secret hole.
We might want to cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one knows about that place.
Definitely do not ever throw
Yeah.
pike suckers off the shoreline.
Beautiful
man.
baits.
Where's
They
the
do not
guy?
work.
I've got.
Being passed around.
Yeah, I've got 2 of that one. I don't need to look at it again.
Which moon do we like the best? Do we like a red moon, a green moon?
Oh, turn it back to Mars, dude. That's where we're going next as a species. We're going to Mars.
Red moon, baby.
Fucking Elon, he's
Dude,
taking us
I
there.
think we might be
It's
from
crazy.
Mars. Like, think about
you
it.
ever seen that
Okay,
thing?
Oh, I believe there's a nuclear winter that fucking
Nobody
killed
needs to go to
So-
my Mars.
think about it, right? Like,
Let me see these.
as a
Oh,
species,
those are- never
okay. Global warming, it's a thing here.
It's
I can't
not a
imagine
thing.
on Mars because
That's
it's close
not
to
a
the sun, isn't
thing.
it?
That's just the
No,
Democrats.
Just
Mars
work
is
with me
further.
here. I
Mars is
agree.
further from the sun, dude.
Got it. So
I
all
think-
I can think of is they drank
Get your
all the
facts
water on
right.
that. Dude, I got more questions than answers. Just so you know.
The amount of times I've heard that today, fuck.
Well, people seem to think that I'm not like. I don't know if I made myself clear.
What I
I
think
don't
happened.
know
As
shit
I think-
about fuck.
I think as a species, we used to live on Mars, and there was some sort of nuclear catastrophe that happened,
Thank you.
just like what's about to happen.
Whoa. Okay.
If we're gonna get down the rabbit hole, let's do it.
I don't think Putin's as bad as we paint him to be.
I think Biden's way worse.
Yep. I think Biden's more commie than Putin.
But can he
On
do
the
it
record.
in the last few months?
You're what?
Can he do it before he's gone?
I forgot. What?
Can he do it before he's gone?
What happened?
What happened to his earlobes? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, why are the pictures different?
Obama's wife is a dude. You heard it here first. Big Mike.
You said that Brian knew today.
I did.
He fucking
Proud
lost
of me.
his shit.
Big Mike, baby.
Oh,
Brian's like, for sure.
Gotta be, right? Wow.
So back to the Mars topic. We were on Mars. Now we're on Earth. Where are we going to next?
Venus.
Venus?
Yeah.
Closer to the sun.
It seems like if we came from Mars.
Yeah.
You're
We
not
can
gonna
go
backtrack.
to Saturn.
We're going back to Mars.
Elon really wants to.
They just need a little break.
All we need is Elon.
Just
Yeah,
need a little break.
it's like the bass, after the bite's a little hot, they shut off, The major bite window comes through.
I'd have a little recovery time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little post-major feeding times, perhaps.
Dude,
Never think about it that way.
I honestly think that we could be living the same life 100 times in 100 places right now, and we're just too dumb to see it.
Yeah.
What are the capabilities of our brain?
They say you only use 10%.
Yeah. So what else can we do?
I truly think we're dumber. Like life's an awakening process, I think. Does that make sense?
So you get smarter the older you get, or do you get more?
You
develop-
understand.
brain
You
develops
realize,
more?
right? Okay. Like,
You definitely get smarter the older you get. That is 100%.
Or do you just get wiser?
You learn wiser, smarter, whatever it is. Like, you think you know your shit when you're 20. You don't. You think you know your shit when you're 30. You don't. I'm 46. I think I know my shit, but I also know that, like, I know when I'm 55, I'll learn that much more. And I don't know how applicable it is to life or whatever, but, like, it's just you learn more about life.
Gandalf, that was
And
some of
you-
the most
and
insightful
you-
shit I've ever heard.
And you seriously, and you'll know it as you guys grow up. You guys are all pretty young. Every 10 years, you're like, I was stupid 10 years ago. And that is really what it's going to be. You'll find out. And there's no way to describe it other than that.
What if when we fall asleep, like, we live a different life, but we can't remember every time we wake up? You know
I
what
don't.
I mean?
I don't remember my dreams,
That's what I'm
so
saying.
that's you know that
What do you
maybe is what it is or
Do you
something.
remember your dreams?
I remember them
Very
fleetingly,
Yes.
but
Maybe it's not a dream. Maybe
English?
maybe that's reality.
Thank you.
Prophecy.
I knew he was smart the whole time.
You thought right.
Okay. I just want to know: has anybody here ever lucid dreamed? That means consciously dreaming to the point where you can control that dream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Woke up with wet pants before.
I did it one time,
Charlie's woke up
Congrats,
with
bro.
pants.
and
Not that kind of
as
wet.
soon as I realized
Oh,
that
man.
was, I'm like, I'm gonna fly, and I started flying, and I woke up. That was the end of it.
Were you flying though?
I got in the air and woke up.
and you felt like you were flying.
Yes,
So,
100%.
so when you woke up, did you fall into your bed? Is that the question?
No,
So
I didn't.
You were just in your bed.
It was a different dimension, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, actually.
Yeah. Got more questions than answers.
That doesn't make any sense.
It,
Doesn't make any sense.
What kind of drugs were involved?
Dude, here's the deal.
Well, I mean, it's a dream too. So
Which
dreams,
dimension were you in?
Fifth?
7th,
Not the 6th?
9th,
No, fifth.
Yeah.
You asked the
15th.
question, I answered it.
Which one's that one?
It's the one that you dream in, bro.
Mhm.
It's the one we host the galaxy, and you're in it right now. Time is not linear anymore. Welcome to the galaxy. It's an intergalactic place. An
Time is a
intergalactic time.
flat circle.
Yeah. What is time? Well, that's a really good question. If you're scoping, it moves a lot faster, right? If you're not, it moves a lot slower. Time, what is it? It's made up.
Just a number.
Well, it's a freaking tape measure. That's all it is.
it's whatever you make it, really.
That's right. That's right.
It's like everything. We humans have to measure things.
Yeah.
We have to measure our bass in inches.
Yep.
And way back when they said, well, the sun rises, the sun sets. We have to calculate that in some way. And then they invented math.
That's right. Like, it boils down to this. If a woman yells in the forest and a man isn't there to hear her, is he still wrong?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
If he wasn't there and he didn't help her, he's always going to be wrong.
It's very insightful, Blair.
Yeah.
As
I
the
don't
only-
even have a girlfriend. That's just,
As the only,
that's some wise words I heard from
We
an
thought
old
you had
person
like
once.
6
Yeah.
after tonight.
Yeah, after tonight.
The fuck happened?
He is
Phone
the,
numbers
he is the cock-
rolling in.
He is the cockslinger.
who was that on the way out that got trapped?
Tulsa,
Is
something
that you
else.
or you? One of you two got freaking.
It wasn't
I
me.
was the last one out.
One of you two got bound up by a butthole for a second there. Was that you?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, you were right behind him.
Dude, I got out of there quick.
Yeah,
you
you
were
were-
talking about
you
that
were-
fight?
No, right before that.
Really?
I think
get over there
you were
quick.
getting grinded on like a son of a bitch, and you're behind him smacking his ass.
That did not
My-
happen. I can guarantee that.
Blair, come on.
Blair, so we were at Kane's Ballroom tonight, and you would have killed it.
Oh man,
Right
that
before
was.
I got there, I guess Kevin Van Dam was like dancing with his wife, and like
There's no way.
if they would have been
Sherry?
there when I
Are
was
you-
there, like my play would have been to walk right up to Kevin,
Yeah.
say, "May I dance with your wife, sir?" That's my end.
It's a bold move, but
If he says yes,
yeah.
I twirl his wife and have a really nice time, and maybe Kevin Van Dam does a podcast.
Yeah.
If he says no, you know what? If you don't swing the bat, you can't hit the ball.
Ain't into that.
And you swung the bat tonight.
Yep.
And
More
we
than a few
thought you
times.
made contact, but you're here right now. So, would your parents ground you for this podcast? Like, let's be honest right now.
No, they're fine. They're fine.
They probably wouldn't ground me. I mean, I have strong morals. I'll be honest.
He's
you know.
a semi-grown
You're a
man.
goddamn
He
adult.
can't.
Yeah.
He
You can't
cannot
ground him.
be grounded now. He's semi-grown.
You know,
can't kill what you can't
until
catch.
I'm out of college and I own my own bass boat, I'm doing what my parents say. I'm telling you what. I love bass fishing too much to give up the passion. So
Well, Mama don't know, don't hurt.
There's no way she listens to this podcast.
no.
She's finding out now.
It doesn't help that I just told her to watch Will Papa's podcast because it was quite possibly the funniest podcast I've ever listened to in my life. But
What the fuck were you thinking, dude? That is not a mom podcast.
all right, man.
You need to pick Karen Sack if
Mom,
you want your mom
moms
to like you.
do
you
not
pick Karen
need to
Sack.
hear Willie.
I used
That's
to work.
just how it is. Moms do not
Well,
hear,
tell her
need
to
to
watch
hear
the next
Willie.
one. Willie said he's bringing a stripper next time, so tell her to watch the next one. She might see some nipple.
That one I think should be a live audience podcast.
Live audience.
Oh yeah.
Well, I did tell Teal that one probably will get more YouTube views than any other, but
Okay.
Other way.
This is an experimental situation right now.
What are
this,
you two doing
this
over there?
just might air.
This is not comfortable.
Are you guys cuddling?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, here. One of you can sit on the cooler. I don't need to talk into the mic. You guys are awesome.
No,
Yeah.
I think we need you.
You do?
Teal, we're good.
We're fine.
We're good.
it wouldn't be the Bass Galaxy without Aaron Teal,
Why
right?
don't you just sit on his
You
lap?
can't leave your own
Let's sit on
podcast.
Chuck's lap.
Why not?
You can sit on
You
my
guys are
lap.
friends.
Oh.
Very good buddies.
Andy, bring us some deep shit right now. I know you're from a different realm.
We need some.
You saved Frodo and
We need
and
some.
Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fires of Mordor.
a different realm is right because I don't know who Frodo is. Or
I got one. Andy,
see, I don't.
He's got one.
how are you so consistent year after year
It's a great
in
question.
Minnesota?
How am I so consistent year after year?
You
Just
are
fucking
always at the
work.
top.
Like since I was 11 years old.
But when I see you in the boat fishing, you don't look like you're working.
No, I don't. But
He's
like,
Gandalf. He's got a Nimbus 2000.
but that's like since I think it was about 11 years old. I got bit by this bass ship, and it's just I need to do the best I can do at bass fishing. And so I'm 46 years old now. It's 35 years of bass fishing. I'm not a scientific angler. I'm not tech angler. I'm not this, that. It's been my life of learning on my own, reading magazines. Internet didn't exist 35 years ago. It's just been learning how to fish.
How many magazines do you have?
And then the longer you do it, and if you have, And there's people love fishing, and they've done it all their lives, and they don't quite get there. And I'm not an elite level angler.
I respect you as an angler, though.
I'm good. I'm damn good.
You are.
Not afraid to admit that. But I'm not elite series.
I feel like you could be.
I can be. Not at this point.
Whether you believe you can or can't.
I'm
You're right
46
either way.
now. But it's been like a lifelong, like I've just been obsessed with it. And I just learn and learn and learn and learn and learn and learn. That's what it is.
I think you could do it. Doesn't matter the age.
I mean,
Remember, it's just like
it doesn't matter the age. But also at this point in my life, I don't think that's what I want to do. I don't want to travel around all over the place.
It's so fun.
It is fun. This is fucking fun right now. We're having fun.
Amen.
Couple trips a year. That's fun. But like all year long, all over the country. I don't know. I probably could do it, but
What's your most confident technique? If you were to put one rod in your hand and duct tape it to it.
I know the answer.
well, I mean, it depends on the species.
Smallmouth.
That's not the question. It doesn't matter the species. If
Yeah,
you have-
it
if
kinda
you have-
does.
Well, if you have to tape... No, I'm not telling you what species. I'm saying
What
if
do
you
you-
have, if you have to tape
Cody,
one rod to your head.
What do
is
you
it?
think? What do you think? I don't think you know.
I think a Texas
For
rig
you?
pit boss
Yeah.
or a jig.
A jig.
Jig or a Texas rig pit boss is my...
Teal got it right.
Yeah.
Texas Rig Pit Boss. It's my number
That was
one
my second option.
ever since Pit Boss came out. It's my jam. It catches fish. It just does. It catches fish better when it came out than it does now. Shit changes, I guess. And I don't like that part of it. You think
Change?
a pit... Well, like a Pit Boss is a creature bait.
Yeah.
And it got a couple kick legs. All sorts of other baits are similar. But the Pit Boss worked so good when it first came out. And not quite as well now. Because fish see that. Every little thing that fish see, they get accustomed to it.
Mustang
And I
almost
don't
bit the
like
dust.
to admit that. But it's true. Fish learn. They shouldn't learn. They
Andy.
don't have brains.
Andy.
They shouldn't learn.
With all due respect, I don't think they know what this is yet.
Yeah, they don't know what that is yet.
Right.
But I don't think they'll bite that either.
Well, you can save 20% on it at Waypoint Angler Supply.
Okay.
By using the March code Galaxy 01.
If I threw that thing, I'd never get a bite.
Oh fuck! You should throw it sometime. I bet you might be surprised. It's fun bait to throw. I don't even glide, but with this thing, we gliding, baby.
Andy, I got a question for you.
What's that?
So, there's a lot of younger anglers coming in from high school and college. How do you feel about that? Does it make you feel younger? How to always learn new techniques and stuff like that?
It does. It actually does keep me in the game more. Learning what you guys are doing. And I wish that I had that college thing when I was younger. But I follow all this. I fish tournaments, but I'm a fan of all of this stuff. I follow all this stuff. The college kids, everything. And it does keep me young. And it keeps you into things. Not that I wouldn't be anyway if none of that existed. I'd be like, if forward faces owner, I'm on that right away. So I'm into everything.
So after fishing in Minnesota for 30 plus years, what did you say the biggest things that have changed from when you started?
So back when Minnesota tournaments were the big thing, Silverado was going on in the 90s, stuff like that. I wasn't quite ready yet. I was a little too young. And it actually happened. I told myself, I'm going to sign up for Silverado next year. And then it ended. So, and then, when Silverado went away, kind of Minnesota tournament scene kind of went away.
Working on it.
Teal knows about Minnesota tournament scene in that era. Like it kind of disappeared, and then we had 20 boat tournaments and 25 and years of 25 boat tournaments.
Do you trailer your big outboard? Then you need the MyWedge motor support. MyWedge keeps even the heaviest motors safe and secure on the trailer. And talk about easy. Up with the motor, on with the MyWedge, back down, ready to roll. And MyWedge is built to last. It won't rot, it won't split, it won't fail. Guaranteed. Pop on MyWedge centering clips for lateral stability and you're good to go. MyWedge, security in a snap. To order yours, go to mywedge.com.
It's been confirmed. Aliens from another planet have landed on Earth. Sources say there's been 2 confirmed landing points for these extraterrestrial beings. One being Japan, and also, unexpectedly, in Minnesota at Waypoint Angler Supply, a local tackle shop on Lake Minnetonka. With the ever-expanding universe, it's no surprise that there are other planets out there that also share our love for the sport of bass fishing. And to Earth's surprise, this latest visit came from extraterrestrial fishermen light years away and many innovations ahead when it comes to fishing equipment. Some hypothesize these beings came from the planet of Naboo, matching up with Mayan folklore dating back thousands of years with fishing equipment ahead of their time. It has been confirmed they left things never seen before by an Earth-born bass. Waypoint Angler Supply is the premier space station in the bass galaxy and has tackle that could previously only be found in Japan or the planet of Naboo. The Waypoint ship is full, but we don't know when the astronauts from Naboo will be back. So hurry in to Waypoint Angler Supply today and stock up on that Area 51 Planet of Naboo JDM good before your buddy is whooping that sweet ass of yours. Stop into their store on Lake Minnetonka or visit their website, waypointanglersupply.com. That's waypointanglersupply.com. In the month of September, use the code Galaxy2402 to save 20% on your next tackle binge. Are you ready to reel in your next home purchase or refinance? Supreme Lending's Dream Team can help guide you through the entire mortgage process, from pre-qualification to closing. They have a wide variety of home loan programs in their tackle box, including down payment assistance and first-time homebuyer options. Just ask me. I trusted Aaron Dagas, a bass fisherman just like you and me, and Supreme Lending's Dream Team to help finance my first home. Contact Aaron Dagas and the Dream Team today by scanning the QR code or giving them a call at 763-326-0677. That's 763-326-0677. Did I catch a 7 in there? Or visit their website, aarondages.supremelending.com. That's AARONDAEGES.supremelending.com.
Right.
And
Why was that? Was it from was it in 08 or was it before that?
I'm not sure exactly why that happened.
I think a lot of it was money related.
Money related? Well, because
Sponsor dollars.
the sponsors for Silverado went away. And then we just had, it ended up being regional.
Yeah.
Like we had all these regions, like West Central, Teal and I were, Metro guys didn't go out, up north guys, Leech Lake guys, and nobody interacted. And it was just like, but they didn't get boats. It was just, and now we've come back together, I guess, in the state. But I'm not sure the reasons, but
There was a tournament culture with that Silverado deal, to your point.
Yeah.
That
tournament culture of the Silverado ended. That culture ended.
Ended from
It was a-
sponsor.
sponsor dollars.
It was
what
Minnesota
boiled down to.
Lottery.
Well,
was-
imagine the tournaments
was
now.
rough,
You do
And so
half
they
the amount of
had
payout
money.
now. Would people still fish it? Probably not.
All the houses the Novaks built got foreclosed that
Yeah.
year.
Oh, hey, baby.
Like, it's a bad year on America in general. But when I got into it, it was a really cool tournament scene, and it was a new world for me because all these people that I looked up to and kind of taught me how to bass fish, your Doug Petracks, your Sean Haggs, your Nick Gross, your Tony Hattons, like there's this big deal called the Silverado, and these guys in my territory, West Central, so to speak, we're fishing it, and I could fish it as an am, and me and the pro would fish as a team. And I learned more what not to do than what to do a lot of times, right? And you
from some of those guys,
Yeah.
you learned what not to do.
For sure, but like Novak, you talked about smoking that guy from the back of the boat, right? Like you learn your abilities. You learn that you got it, right? That's what I learned. And the year I wanted to jump up as a pro, Silverado go bye-bye. So then there was like this awkward
it's
phase where
same for
nothing
me.
filled
It's
after
exactly
that.
what I was saying.
Yeah, dude, nothing filled after
You were
that.
way younger than me then, even too.
I was, dude, and my beard didn't, like, I'd just grown pubes at the time. Like, it was a
Yeah,
wild time.
yeah,
dude.
basically,
Yeah, dude, I
you
was
would
like,
have been like 18.
dude, I
That
got
was
hair
like,
in
you
my
were
nuts.
18,
What the fuck's going on?
19.
Like, this is weird. Like,
And I
got
was
2 armpit hairs. I'm
20
like,
something. But
3 nipple hairs. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, dude.
So you got this lull. What brought it back? Like high school blew up. It seemed like what?
it was
17,
there
16?
was
The
a
high school fishing
long
thing
time
Cody.
of Minnesota tournaments that there's a long time that they did not have very many boats.
When did it start picking back up? You think?
Had to have been before high school fishing, right?
8 years ago, something like that.
There was like
When
26
Team,
So it
when
was kinda
Team
high
Trail,
school.
when
Just
Team Trail
probably right before high
started,
school fishing.
when Classic Bass started, Team Trail and
That was the
Classic
beginning.
Bass kind of started at the same time, and that started the
Well, there was
resurgence.
NABCs in between. You won one of them on
The
Vermilion,
NBC,
right? They just
the
didn't
NBCs
fill.
were awesome, and then they just tanked. Like, and I'm so glad I left NBC the year before it tanked, and NBC was very good to me.
So would you say that tournament culture is coming back right now? Is back? Isn't coming
Impressive.
back?
Dude, you can
It
feel.
came back.
can feel
I
it
feel
center.
like in Minnesota, I think it's on the downswing.
you do.
again.
Yeah.
Well, the team trail
now,
Team Trail is not full.
So
Yeah.
Classic Bass is full with a waiting list, but Team Trail is not.
So
I wanna-
I have
I'm not quite
I have
sure.
input on that, and I think it's because with the team trail at 80 boats, it limits us to 6-8 lakes,
I agree.
and those
It does.
those 6 to 8 lakes we have fished now. I think I've been fishing. I think this will be mine and Forrest's 4th year, right? 4th or 5th year. I can't remember.
Something like that.
But yeah, it just we keep going back to the same fisheries with the same guys, and
Right.
it's boring.
I don't mind going to the same fisheries.
I don't to an extent.
But this
Gull, whitefish,
this
honey,
year's
whitefish,
schedule
that's-
is quite a bit different.
See, and if it's like this,
There's some of the
we're
same
switching
fisheries,
shit up.
but different times of year.
So the river,
but there's also new fisheries
right.
too.
So the river's second.
I like that.
Second or
I
second.
know why they ain't
It's in
filling.
June.
It's river in
They're making
June.
people drive to Canada, then they're making them drive to fucking Lava Shop.
I got a
Like,
16-hour drive to
Yeah.
start the season.
And that's probably a reason that some people haven't signed
dude,
up.
it comes down to dollars and cents, bro.
Champ
Like
Stewart
cost
pails.
of doing business.
But these of us at this table, these of us
Pails
at
is
this
way better
table,
than Team Trail.
we
Yep.
want to do that. We want to drive up there and then drive down there.
yeah, but if you take
But that's
third,
not.
it's
But
kicking
that's
the
not
dick.
everybody.
Right. It takes the next level of passion for sure, and kind of want to do that to do.
I want to hear the inside scoop on Untamed Tackle.
On
And I know this big dick over to my left has the inside scoop.
So
and then we got on the other side of the wall that's got
We
the other
literally
part of the
have
scoop.
the co-owner of Untamed Tackle that the reason why we're whispering is because we want Mr. Welcher to have a good day too.
yeah, me too. Yeah, want to see him catch some on Untamed Tackle jigs tomorrow.
You don't get him.
No, just keep it down.
Well, I don't
Like a
know.
big day tomorrow.
I don't know if he's actually staying there, or if it's just them.
For sure he is.
I would imagine it's just them staying there, and he's staying up the lake.
If he was
All the
smart,
boats are down there.
There's a lot of boats down there.
really.
I
Probably
suppose.
half the field is right down here.
A lot of you, yeah.
Well, it'll be over there.
Wherever that fenced in area is.
So maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Piss him right off. I don't know.
We're not that loud.
You can knock
Yeah.
it.
That's a little more like.
What's happening right now?
That's like.
It's the bar we were
going
in.
back
Bro,
in time.
this is insanity.
That's what your
No, this
balls
is
were
going
doing
back
at
in
the
time
bar.
till like 2017 when Untamed Tackle became a business.
Yeah, shut that off.
Whoa.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of that.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Much better.
Were you about to have a seizure?
I just couldn't stop looking at it.
It's kind of mesmerizing.
It is.
I like the first time I got it, I stared at it for like 3 hours straight.
After it took them the whole day prior to get
It
that
took
set
me a
on
whole
there.
day to put it on there. But when I finally did, I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yeah,
Whoa.
might as well.
It is cool.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
70.
It's a write-off.
Not bad.
Tax write-off for sure. You know how that works, John.
I think we
You
need
know
to-
how
Oh, he knows a thing or two
I think-
about a tax write-off.
Teal, I think we need to put some little bass stickers on there.
Might.
Ooh,
Could you imagine?
They'll throw off the gravitational pull.
that's a true bastronaut right there. You just threw me a bastroid right now.
Either that, or we could modify it further.
So, can you
Have
make
a
it
wrap.
actually turn in a proper orbit?
Which way you want it to go?
Just
You're gonna fuck
Slightly
this up.
more
I'm gonna have to
diagonal.
Fix it.
Flip it, apparently.
Oh.
Am I, Cody? Am I?
You got lucky that time.
It's a little wobbly. What's on the other side of Antarctica? I don't know.
Government facilities.
So, Teal,
Antarctica's trippy.
Teal, how many podcasts have you had so far on the
About
classic?
1,000.
No.
I believe it.
Wait, you just talking at the classic here?
Yeah.
2.
Nice. Who are they?
Jarrett Littner and
The
Brian
milkman.
Yeah.
Literally. He
Yeah.
told us the whole story about
Oh, yeah.
that. And I was supposed to do Littner, New, and Gore, but New ran a little late and I left my phone in Cody's truck. So I'm
man.
really happy Wesley Gore forgave me.
Because that turned
Um,
out to be what? 3.5 hours?
I don't even know how long News was, but it was a good one.
4.
He's a beauty.
Yeah,
that
4 to
guy.
7:30.
Man. What a sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could sit and listen to him talk about tackle for
Dude.
days.
He was talking about weight and crankbaits
Oh, yeah.
to make him dive and cast, and like, man, I was drilling through the bottom of them fuckers. I was doing it all wrong this whole
Gotta
time.
go through the top.
He goes, he fucking drills a hole right through their forehead.
See, he goes a step further and epoxies over that after he plugs it. But I
He
just
puts
use
toothpicks to plug it, then he boxes.
right.
Who does that?
I just use toothpicks because as that water hits that toothpick, it expands and it plugs that hole. There ain't nothing coming in and out, and then you can still get that toothpick out and weight it differently the next time you use it.
Is that considered physics? Is that a physics like
I think
thing?
it's Bastronox.
Astronauts.
I think it's too much science.
It's
for
a
me.
form of astrology for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, there it is.
I think Brian New is
Why do
like
you need to
wrote the book
drill
on
a hole
astrology
in your plug and put a toothpick in?
So the
because you wanted to dive 25 motherfucking feet.
the reason
That's why.
I do it.
I don't need to crank a plug.
You don't need a
25 feet
crankbait in
deep.
general.
Wrong.
You need a
wrong.
watermelon
That's
red
a hot
flake crawl
take.
tube and
So-
a goddamn Nico
so
rig,
I'll-
right, Mr.
That's
Novak?
right.
That's
That's
all a dog
exactly
needs.
right. You
Hey.
don't need a
All a dog
fucking
needs.
Hey,
crankbait.
I watched it
But I
firsthand
like
right
to.
here.
I like 'em.
I don't think I've ever weighed a fish on a crankbait.
I will
I
weigh
have.
5 on a crankbait first tournament this year. I guarantee it.
So Teal, you asked me on that earlier with Brian knew why I do that, and I didn't want to tell you why I do that. I'm
Why
gonna
you do
talk-
what?
Why I drill those out on Tonka.
Talk to me.
So I found a group of fish out there that year that I did good, and I cashed check in every tournament I fished out there. That was suspended at a certain depth of water, and they wanted to eat a crankbait, but they would only eat it if it was sitting right there,
It's like suspending.
right in their face.
Did you ever try throwing them a minnow?
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't eat it.
What?
They wanted
Or
Wrong
like
weight.
a
Wrong weight.
suspending jerkbait.
They didn't want it.
Didn't want that.
They wanted that bigger profile body
Mm.
sitting there.
You want a big old bluegill.
They would
Imagine
sit.
that.
They would sit there on this bait, nose to it.
I don't know. Jake Novak thinks you're full of shit.
They're full of shit.
So you were dead sticking.
I kind of think you're full of shit too.
Yeah.
There's been
I believe it.
There's been a couple other guys that have proven this as well that have won a lot of money out there the last 3 years, and they fish the same spots.
I sunk a crankbait out there and I said I was going to do it for 8 hours straight.
Took me 4 hours, but I caught a 5-pounder 4 hours in. Never caught another bass on it. But I'm not that good.
I'm not either. I got really lucky and stumbled into something stupid.
There's a lot of dumb shit to stumble into on that lake that fucking doesn't pay off the next day.
That's fucking Tonka.
Yeah,
There's dumb shit, and then it doesn't work again.
some people call that lake the penalty box. I call it just rape. You know what I mean? Straight up.
I don't think I love any lake in the state as much as Tonka, to be very honest.
That's your favorite shit.
That is my
That is a
favorite.
controversial
That
take.
is
What do
my.
you have to say about that?
That is my favorite lake.
Well, I'm not a fan of Tonka, so I want to know why you like Tonka so much.
Because there's a lot to learn from it. There's a lot of different variables
Definitely
that
true.
go into that lake that can make you very dangerous on every other lake in the state.
Would you say that's because of the pressure out there, learning how to catch fish?
The pressure is a big thing, and I don't know. This might have to go silent and stay in this room. Obviously, I'm sure all of us know the current is a huge thing on that lake. And there are certain times a day when certain people are doing certain things with their boats, and they make fish do certain things.
You talking about the prop wash trick? Because
Yes.
that's.
There's
long.
more to it than that.
I understand.
A lot more.
I understand.
But that is part of it.
What I know about
But
that
I'm
lake
not-
is when you're rolling, you're rolling. Andy's seen me rolling day
Oh,
before
yeah.
the tournament. The problem is how do you roll on Tonka day in and day out? Even the Denny's guys don't. Even
Well,
the guys
some
who
of
know that
them
lake
do,
don't roll. No, dude.
So that
Nobody
you're-
rolls a big bag every day on Tonka no more. There's not a guy anymore. Dusty
kinda
Man
true.
left. That was the only guy I'm aware of who rolled a big bag every fucking day.
When was that?
That's true.
Before you fished it.
Before the coontail.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
So there's certain things. So obviously, with me and Forrest growing up fishing around Sock Center, there's a lot of coontail up there and a lot of shit. And there's a lot of stuff that translates to Minnetonka for me, anyways. There's a lot of key features of that lake that I think hold a lot of fish that people aren't looking at correctly. I know I've seen you on a couple spots that I have fished a lot, and I know you have caught them there. But I haven't seen many other people there.
Where is this?
We'll talk about it later.
You opened up the
gotta
can.
call-
Now you
we
gotta fucking
confirm
close
these
it.
spots.
We'll talk about it later.
Which
'Cause-
bay?
We'll talk about it later.
Yes, sir.
You and I have talked about it already, but I'll remind you. Because it's legitimately, there are 3 spots I've never seen another boat on.
Stay off my shit.
And I've caught 20 to 25 pounds off them spots.
Stay off
Whose
my
shit is it? Is it your shit or is it his shit?
He's seen me there.
Which one of you are a Tonka local?
I don't poach.
How does poaching work? There's a deep that you want to get into deep dive.
Down the rabbit hole we go.
I like this.
How does poaching work?
How does well? I'm no Jack Sparrow, but this is a good time to talk about this. I've seen poaching, like in the most explicit form, on the Lake Mille Lacs, where, like, you know that like net in the water pattern. My shit's been poached by motherfucking
on
high
Mille
school
Lacs,
motherfuckers.
I've had people on Mille Lacs
You
and
were in
high
that
school kids
Thank
come
you.
up to me on Mille Lacs and you hear beep, beep, drive away.
Dude.
But that's pretty egregious, but that's not the start of poaching.
But like,
Started way
There's-
long time ago.
but the recruitment of poaching
part
right
of it.
now, the parenting right now is brutal. Like, the fact that I am like 500 feet to a quarter mile from that reef and worked hard to find some juice off the beaten path, and you see the net go in the water 7 times and you fucking move a quarter mile and start circling my boat.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself is what I have to say to those people, and to the father who is bringing them kids, you know, that far away from where they wanted to fish originally. Sir, I hope they dig a deep enough fucking grave for you, because the death penalty is too light for fucking poachers.
Personally, I would not go that far.
Yeah, that's
You're right.
That's
You're
a
right.
little deep.
I'm sorry for yelling. I'd
Mean,
like to see
it's a
some.
shitty situation, but
I'd just like to
it
see some old school
happens.
parenting methods again. You
Settle
know.
down, Teal.
Sorry.
Tone it down a notch.
I don't think you understand.
I think
was
that we
cold-blooded.
could. I think we could all, us four, I think could add a lot of input to that. Growing up in the high school scene and seeing some of the stuff that's happened, and some of the there's controversy everywhere in life and in fishing, but
Absolutely.
there's definitely some shady things that have happened in the college scene and especially high school scene where it definitely depends on the boat captain, like how are the kids making the decisions, or is the boat captain out there controlling the trolling motor? That sort of thing. I've been a firm believer forever that you're not going to learn unless you're the one doing the work. And I can say right from here, these are some of the best group of guys in high school fishing. I've known them since the beginning, and that's why we've been real close. Is I know that these guys have put the time in, and that's everything in fishing. So it'll never mean as much to a person if they didn't put the work in to win that tournament or to place where they did. But there's so many things so many rabbit holes you could go down with that.
It's very insightful, Blair. Are you ready to name some fucking names? Or?
There's no names that need to be thrown out there, but
I'll name a name.
Throw it out there.
There's
Do it, Jack Sparrow. Do it.
So I brought this up in the podcast new today about ice cubes. How many of you guys have heard about guys using ice cubes to add weight to fish?
Never.
Because
To add weight
this
to
is
them?
something
Nah, I've never heard of that.
after the weights and the walleye thing.
I've heard for oxygen, but
I've heard rumblings of guys that shove them down into their stomach to add water weight.
It doesn't weigh as much as lead.
Metal detector can't detect it.
Right.
That one's mine.
But
I don't know why people got to be so desperate, man. I don't know.
I don't either.
Thanks.
Like
It all comes down to how you're raised.
Yeah.
that's literally it.
Yeah, his dad's.
That's it.
And from what I can tell, all 2, 4, 6, 7 of us were raised decent. Pretty sure.
Well,
Either.
Teal, you know,
never
I was
know.
raised so
You
good
never
that
know.
I rebelled from it. Like, people get mad at me because my mom, literally, if I was at the dinner table, you don't ask for something without please and thank you, right? And then I was the weird kid that would go to my friend's house, and I was taught to call them sir and ma'am.
Yeah.
And I'd go to my friend's house and I'd be like, "Thank you, sir," and he'd be like, "Why the fuck are you calling
Yeah.
me sir?"
Don't ever
And I was
call me
like,
sir
"Dude,
again."
I don't know. My mom told me to. I don't fucking know." So now, you know,
Well, they still do that down
Hey.
south.
Yeah, I mean, that serves you well for down south.
Oh, yeah.
But up in Minnesota, we didn't call people sir and ma'am.
sir.
Come on now.
Sir, thank you.
That's
for
down south shit.
Thank you for the beer.
shout out to Tracy. She didn't mind.
I can definitely tell you, since being down in Missouri for a month, the whole sir and ma'am thing is amazing.
They love it.
That is a very.
It's a big thing.
It is.
You know what my favorite thing is? When they call you baby or darling.
Darlin's my favorite, dude.
I can't tell you how many times the lunch
Honey.
ladies at our cafeteria
Yeah,
have
the
called me
the
darling
lunch
as they're handing
lady
me-
at the
Salsa enough for that?
cafeteria.
as they're handing me my biscuits and gravy. Dude,
Hey,
I'll
darling.
never forget it
Yeah.
for the rest of my
What'd
life.
Are you salt enough for that?
Eat these
darling?
biscuits,
Yeah.
darling.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Because we're just north
I
of
got a funny
Springfield,
story
about
about
40
that.
minutes.
This morning, dude.
What happened this morning?
Okay, so this morning I wake up and I'm hungover, right?
I, he comes down, meets me at the elevator or escalator.
This is before this happened.
We go up the elevator. He fucking runs from the elevator door to the door here,
I puked this morning.
and he's doing this with the card, trying to get the fucking door to open. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this ain't good." Or what'd you say? You said something.
So I'm a puke.
No.
Thank you, sir.
No, it wasn't that.
No, for you. You need a high life?
But he gets through the door and he runs to the bathroom right away. So my first thought was, oh, he's got a fucking pocket pussy. He's got a hide or something.
I wish.
So I
That's
walk.
the first thought.
Well, yeah. I mean, a guy runs through the door into the bathroom, like, books it in there. It's like, all right, he's hiding something. I get over here and all of a sudden I hear, "Ugh." It's like, oh, Teal, fucking Yeah, get it out. You're going to feel better.
I'll tell you how that went down. So I go downstairs this morning. I'm like, God damn it. Right? I go down and get a black coffee. And there's just this magical woman, like, who greets me down there, right? She's got this weird name. It's like Josie or something, like Joni?
Josephine?
Something. She's beautiful blonde. She's got rubber gloves on. She's obviously the cleaning manager of some sort. And I walk down there, and she immediately can tell how hungover I am. Immediately.
She knows.
Yep.
She works in a hotel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And we just
Yeah,
we hit it
Tulsa.
off right away, right? And you know, I get my black coffee, and I'm looking at this fucking menu they got. I'm like, I need some breakfast or something. I was like, what's that? And she explains it to me. It looked like a yogurt parfait. You know, I'm like, I could probably eat that right now. She's like, nope, that ain't a yogurt parfait. I'm like, thank you. So I grab my black coffee and I'm walking back up. This Josie chick or whatever, she had moved away from the coffee shop at this point. And I'm walking back. She's like, I need to show you something. Come with me. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know where you're taking me, but I like it, right? I pointed this chick out to Cody when he got there, right? So all of a sudden, I get in the elevator with this lady, right? And she scans her fucking shit. She takes me to the 15th floor. I was like, where am I going? Am I dreaming right now? Like, this woman is...
Might have been.
Dude. So she pulls me up to the 15th floor. We walk. She's like, we're almost there. I'm like, where are you taking me? And all of a sudden, she opens this door. And it opens up, and I look. Continental breakfast.
On the 15th floor?
15th floor. It's like, more? It's like, thank you so much. I was about to buy breakfast, right? What? So, yeah. And she's like, anytime, darling. So, like, I got up this morning. I walked down to that coffee shop. I was like, how are you doing, darling? You know, I was still drunk. And
They only
she's
do
like,
that
better
down
than
here.
you? I was like, yeah, dude, I need to go walk barefoot in that grass. She's like, ooh, grounding. I was like, I look pretty ungrounded right now, don't I? She's like, yes, you do. She's like, I got just the thing. Follow me.
Oh, man.
I was like, this is not the ground. This is the opposite of the ground. We're on the 15th floor right now, Josie. Where's your room? So I got me a banana muffin, a real yogurt, and I puked it all up as soon as I got in this room. And that's all there is to that, but I'll see her in the morning. I know my walk down to that coffee shop in the morning. I'm hoping she's there again.
Darling. Oh,
No,
my
but
gosh.
like I called her darling, and then she called me darling, and I called her darling, and she called me darling, and then she took me up to the 15th floor. I'm like,
Dude.
that was easy. Shit.
No, just kept this breakfast.
Yep, and then I got me a muffin.
Could you imagine doing that back in Minnesota? The looks you'd get?
I use the darling word a lot, and it works about 60% of the time. It works every time.
That's better than I'd think.
That's right.
Huh? Wow.
Or is it morning yet?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Jacob's got this
not
internal
morning yet.
compass right now that's telling him that he's got to like fucking lay a foundation.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's ready to go make a deck.
Gotta get back to
Build a
work.
deck.
Hey, did you fished Phoenix Big 5 a few years ago, didn't you? In lacrosse? No. Who am I thinking of then?
I think you're thinking Hunter went.
No.
Charlie's fished on lacrosse quite a bit.
Yeah, BFLs.
No, I thought it was a Novak.
I didn't know you were lax
Could
boy.
have been a different one. Wasn't me.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, lacrosse.
I like lacrosse, yeah.
You
Did he win it?
Yeah.
It was probably me then. No, I'm kidding.
It was a winner.
Well-
It was him.
So I've been to lacrosse a couple times and it whoops my fucking ass.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
He's really good at
This
it.
guy
Well, because
hammered on
lacrosse
me.
kind of sucks. That's why.
Just like
It's-
any other.
It's
cheap.
kind of a tough
'cause of
pool,
pressure.
though, too.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
southern fishery.
Charlie, tell him about your nutbush experience.
Oh, the nut bush.
The legendary nut bush. First time I ever went down to lacrosse,
Well,
he
it-
told me about
It
this.
got renovated, so it's not quite as good anymore. But when we first went down on the cross, there's this restaurant called the Nut Bush, and they have the best burgers.
It's so
There
good.
is. Has anybody ever been there? I know you have.
Oh yeah.
I've been to Bush. I haven't been to Nut.
I might have been there. I've been to lacrosse back in the day. That sounds familiar.
Hey guys, Gaff with Waypoint English Supply here. Just wanted to highlight the fact that we have the big bass resource right here. Obviously, everybody in Minnesota knows about Kitex and the littler swim baits like these bait labs here. But we're here to have the big baits here in the store. We got Huddlestons, we've got the dangerous swim baits, the jointed claw glide baits, and the bull shooter glide baits. But it's not only the baits. We've got big rods, big reels, big line, and all that good stuff for you guys to go ahead and chase your biggest fish of your life. So swing on into Waypoint English Supply and get hooked up with the biggest tackle around.
Hey guys, Aaron Teal here with Veselka Fishing and Customs here, and excited to talk to you about my new signature series rod, the Puppet Master. My number one confidence technique is by far offshore power finesse fishing, so we've spent a lot of time and a lot of years creating the perfect bottom contact power finesse rod, specifically designed to fish 3/8 to 3/4 ounce football jigs, tubes, swing heads, dragging a swim bait on the bottom, and any bait that you need to manipulate with your hand and land that fish. This rod is perfect for it. The big thing that we found that was an issue with other rods is they were either too crisp and sensitive, where they were too fast, or they weren't quite sensitive enough and they had the right action. So what Dane built with this rod is the most sensitive bottom contact rod I've ever held in my hands. But the big thing is, on a long cast, it's got the power to drive that hook home, but more importantly, it's got a parabolic action that's going to bend deep down in the rod to make sure that, let's say, football jig or goby tube isn't popping that smallmouth's mouth open and keeping that bait in the back of their head where it belongs, allowing you to have increased leverage and landing more bass. You're going to have to pry this rod from my cold dead hands. This is the Puppet Master. You can find it on veselkafishing.com or at Waypoint Angler Supply. Check them out. Most tournament anglers and guides are not covered fully or properly. Most insurance policies don't cover exposure due to tournaments and guiding. Taking the chance of using the wrong insurance gives the insurance company an out when settling a claim. How will the insurance company know that you're fishing tournaments or guiding? Well, social media is their number one resource. And guess what? They use it. Lake Country Insurance offers one of the only products that can cover both tournament and guiding use in your vessel. Anglers don't seem to hesitate spending $50,000 to $100,000 for a boat. Why risk that large asset, all because you wanted to save a few extra shekels? Are you nuts? Call the folks at Lake Country Insurance today and make sure you have the proper coverage for your boat before the unexpected happens. Call 612-285-3113 today or visit their website, lcisagency.com. That's lcisagency.com.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I had this 1 pound burger, and I got it.
Proud.
And the next day, I was fishing, and
Had to pick an island.
we had to make a little island stop.
Yeah.
1 pound had to come out.
Drop a pound out of the mountains.
How about when you fish the championship? Nutbush midday?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were fishing as a high school World Finals, and we were fishing the Black River, and then we had like 2 3-pounders, and then we caught like a 4.5 pound smallmouth randomly.
Three fish limit.
Yeah, 3 fish limit. So we had like 10.5 pounds. We're like, okay, we're gonna make it the next day. Day 4, just fine. So we called up my mom and had her bring us some nutbush on the water. We ate some nutbush. So.
Yeah, Mom, I'll take 2 nut bushes, please.
Yeah.
So since we're on the topic,
Yeah.
Bush or not?
poop it.
Oh, it's a great topic.
What is everybody's most memorable boat poop?
Oh, I know yours. It's
I know
not even
every-
yours, but
We all got one.
classic bass on.
I got no boat
or-
poops.
On what?
I'm
Pelican.
pretty regular.
Oh god.
What?
Pretty regular.
That's a lie.
Hey, I
There's
heard
no way.
Matt Robertson once said it's as comfortable as sitting on
There's-
the toilet.
I forgot one time, and that was a long time ago on Chequamegon Bay. That was the only time I was like 25 years old.
I'm talking like
I had to go to shore. Shit on
Got
shore.
this shit figured out.
One
no pun
time.
intended.
either
That's what I was talking about earlier. You learn life.
yeah.
And that includes shitting.
Here's what I've learned about pooping in boats. Okay, if you go full immersion, I'm talking submerge the butthole underwater.
That
Okay.
is a bad idea.
No,
Yeah, I don't. That
no.
doesn't
100%
sound. That
of the
doesn't
time.
sound.
No, it doesn't
good to
sound
me.
good. I didn't say it sounded
You're
good.
just adding structure to the lake.
Until you're dropping floaters, though.
I don't know, man.
Situation.
The only
Hear
time
me out.
the only time that works is if you got the trolling motor on 10.
It works every fucking time. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Okay.
Depends on if it sinks or if it's like a chocolate super spook.
So, shout out to Mark Shirley, who's married and not tournament fishing anymore. He taught me this. I said, no fucking way full immersion. There's no way. And what I learned is if you poop above water, you gotta wipe. Okay?
Yeah.
If you poop underwater and you come up and you put that double ply to your butthole, you ain't gonna get nothing. It's a perfect pinch every time. You're pooping in a bidet. You're literally in the bidet.
So are you saying they created toilets incorrectly?
Dude, honestly, like this whole pooping thing, like we weren't designed to use toilet paper. Like
This is
as
true.
animals, we weren't designed to do that.
No.
Like the Western culture, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the greedy people at the top needed to sell some more paper. Okay?
Many
That's how this
human
went down.
cultures don't use toilet paper still.
India, they use their left hand.
Yep, it's left hand.
Do fish
But
use
they don't
toilet
use
paper?
paper. It's like, I mean, it's paper for your butthole is a modern invention.
If
That's
you're
where
willing
we're
to
going
get your
with it.
balls wet, you will not need to wipe shit.
So what's the strategy with this, though? How does this work?
Well, it depends how deep of water we're talking. Okay.
The
So-
other question would be, is it cost effective? Because wouldn't you have to wipe off more with it all submerged in there versus just
You
a
don't need-
splash pad?
you don't need to wipe.
Well, he's saying you have to wipe, but then now I'm thinking.
But there's water on
But
it.
then
No.
your butt cheeks are in the water.
Yeah.
And then your butt cheeks are wet. You got to dry those off somehow.
Yeah, you're not going to just
How are
throw
you
your
going to
pants
dry your
back
butt
on.
cheeks off?
That's
Okay.
like taking a shower.
Would you
and just
rather
not drying.
would you rather towel off water or shit?
Well, I'd rather towel off water,
Same.
obviously,
Same.
but
So my most
so you still
memorable
have to
shit
do
moment-
something. You got to dry one part or the other.
I've got this shit figured out. So
Oh,
Gull
you got
Lake-
the solution.
No, Gull
You
Lake.
got the solution.
Gull Lake, Wilson Bay. You know when you got them reeds?
That's why I haven't been catching them there.
No, hear me out. So there's this sweet
Fucking,
spot
they're all
between the
fucking
reeds
dead.
and the docks, right? Okay.
Oh.
So you find a spot between the reeds and shore where
Yeah.
there's a gap in the cabins, right? Gap. So you got cabin over here,
Yeah.
reeds. Okay. So now you pull down, you hop in the water. Now all them pontoons that are out there, they ain't seeing how small your dick is. You're good. You know what I mean? Them reeds are protecting you, right? And that shrubbery between those two cabins also adds as a buffer. It's a buffer zone. This is the best sanctuary I've ever found. Okay? There's no bass here. I made sure of it before I soiled the area, right? This is practice for Chance Tour on Gull, and I had to poop real bad. And I'm practicing Wilson Bay real shallow, and
Yeah,
I ain't
there you
catching
go.
dick, and I got a shit. So, triangulate the cabins and the reeds and the pontoons and the Malibu wake boats, and like, I'm in a safe space. So if you do have cabins that are close by, what you do is you pull down and you put your boat between the cabins and the reeds. Okay? So now, between the boat and the reeds, there's this safe zone that nobody can, like, it's safe. It's like you're in a freaking isolated room, man.
It's like you got a wall.
Sounds
Like bathroom.
It is, right? And it's 4 feet of water. That's the best part. Like, if you're going to go full submersion, it's really nice to feel some sand on your toes, you know? So you hop in, you know, it's about to here, right? About
You're
to
saying
here.
you're standing while you're doing this?
Well, this is like the inside.
I think he
reach.
is.
Like, it ain't fucking deep,
He's
bro.
standing and
You're
pooping.
not just dipping.
No,
you're like,
no.
standing and pooping.
Wow.
I'm gonna let you finish. Let me finish.
yeah. No, all you.
You can walk to that reed edge, okay? So you got a good distance between your boat. It's hitting the upper thighs now, right? So you've gotten acclimated to the water temperature, which it's midsummer, so it's, you know, pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay? And then all you have to do is sit a little bit, right? Let
like
her
that.
buck.
Wow.
Let it buck,
Taking notes.
right?
I like this strategy.
Okay? Then you once you're done, you stand up, you fucking walk to your boat, put your poles up, start flipping, bro.
You ever
That's how
had?
this works?
I got a question for you, Teal.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if you've done this more than once, but have you ever had one float up your back? Because I know some people who have had instances of floaters.
So what about when it's not a solid and you are adding more liquid to the water?
I've put all the different types of shit in the water, so I do know the answer to this question if you're
All right.
asking. Okay?
Thank God we got an expert.
The advantage of touching bottom, right, is when you squat, you can immediately move forward. You can get some forward momentum, okay? And you are the trolling motor, right? When you can touch bottom, you are the trolling motor, okay? And you move yourself forward, okay?
Yeah.
You make sure you're not pooping upwind. It's about that simple. Wind moves one way.
Yeah.
And you make sure you're facing upwind.
So
letting her buck downwind.
What if there's no wind?
That makes sense.
Okay, now if you're in a depth of water, that's hard to manage, okay? So we're treading now, right? At that point, the key is we got this spot lock thing now. It used to be harder. You used to need a partner, right? But we got this spot lock thing now, right? And that spot lock, you know, you point that spot lock upwind, you hit the anchor button.
Yeah.
Wind's bucking back, right?
Right.
Hang off the back, let it buck. Wind's gonna take it, dude. What you gotta watch for though is the eddy that the boat makes. Right? The eddy that the boat makes. Okay.
You know the best thing to do?
So that's where, like, if the boat's making, if it's bucking, like the wind's bucking and it's making an eddy,
Right.
you got to make sure you're on the upcurrent side of the boat. So now you're on the side of the boat on that back tie cleat, right? You're holding on to that back tie cleat.
That's the smart play,
And you
for
know everything that goes around might hit your side imaging transducer, might spin right into it, you know?
Yeah.
But if you got a guy up front, he'll pull you away from that shit.
I think you're making it more difficult than it needs to be.
You asked the question. I was just answering it.
Pokegama.
Yes, sir.
The islands. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The two islands right in the middle, the big ones that everybody parties on.
Mm-hmm.
The North Island. If you go on the west side of that island and beach up, there's two trails. There's one that goes up the steep hill, and there's one that goes to the left that's level all the way around, right? If you go up that steep one, you're going to get to a point where you see the trees are like this, and the hill's like that. You drop trow, and you anchor to that tree. You're sitting just like this with your back against that tree.
I've done that.
Shit rolls downhill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Done and over.
But then you gotta wipe.
There you go.
Yep, that's the issue.
You push hard.
There's one
It's
lake
all or
where my
nothing.
strategy doesn't work.
Like
Like
a
it's
river?
called Big Stone.
You
Okay,
fish-
that place is gross.
You-
You do not put a fucking toe in that.
Don't
So I
don't
got
step in that
a
way.
turd story. You
Yeah,
fish-
do not put your hand into Big Stone.
No. Have you fished Big Birch?
Yeah.
That's why
You-
it's so good, though.
You fished Big
I've
Birch.
fished Big
Nutrients.
Birch.
Any of
Oh,
you guys?
No, I've heard of it though.
Okay. The island. So pretty
Yep.
much right across the Cattail Island. That's got the little cubby in it, right?
Cubby.
You know what I'm talking about. If you fish around that, there's a little cut in into the
Called it a
center.
cut. I've never heard it as a cubby. That's genius.
I call it the pooping cubby.
The pooping cubby.
So it's kind of like your cattail thing or your reed thing.
Yeah.
So you can pull into this thing. You put the poles down. You
Fucking
go back.
fenced in.
You put your elbow on the motor. You have your foot on your power pole, and you're doing your thing, right? So I'm dropping one. It's about 9:30 on tournament morning. It was one of the Battle of the Birches.
All right.
I'm letting her fly. Very vocal.
Pooper got it.
All of a sudden, I hear,
Thanks.
Jesus, man. What the fuck? So, Forrest, my tournament partner.
That's how you met.
No, this is well after that. But he was fishing in his boat. He was
butthole you got.
He was on the outside of the reed patch away from me. He could see the top of my head. That was it. He knew what I was doing.
Heard a bunch of noises.
He heard it.
Heard you hooting and hollering.
I hear him fucking laughing. And then I hear this guy behind me. I turn around, there's a walleye guy right there watching me take a shit out.
Chum this way, boy. You caught nothing all day.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Chuck ever tell you about that time you went into the Porta-John and it was painted brown?
I don't think so.
At Big
No.
Birch?
Wow.
No, I don't think so.
I ran.
Or maybe I did, but I don't
ran
remember
about
it.
2.5 miles, and that was rough. That was a heavy drinking the night before, 2-mile run, pinching hard, open the door, pants hit the ankles, no hope to sit down, everywhere.
Do you ever come back to the bathroom and there's fish?
This year I will. The last tournament we had on goal was that time, so we're going back, baby.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I got 2 tournaments on goal this year. All right. Yeah, check them reeds in Wilson Bay. You might
I'll check it out.
find a little surprise.
I'm very excited to go back to goal this year.
Gold
I thought
might
you're
be
sick
one
of the
best
same
lakes
lakes.
in the
I thought you're sick of the
state
same
right now.
lakes over and over again, Cody.
We weren't there last
We've
year,
only
were we?
been there once.
I'm sick of the same lakes. But I get to go back to golf for team trail.
Well, if Team Trail will limit it to 30 boats, we can go a lot of places.
I would be perfectly happy with 65. I think.
I voted 75 for team trail.
So here's something that me and Forrest.
I voted Bart doesn't get to pick the schedule anymore.
I voted.
I need a cigarette.
How about no, Scott? How about no?
How about we talk about the classic? Or do you already talk about that in your past?
I kind of want to
No,
talk about
because
golf some
these
more.
come out like later,
What do you
so
want
like
to
I didn't want
Golf's
it
my
to be.
home lane.
I wanted it to
Fair
be
enough.
kind of like it
balcony.
wasn't
There's a
classic.
balcony here.
Because
like
it's
a
gonna.
lot.
Some of them will release like in June. So.
Well,
it's
it's
not-
like
is
what
it
Teal
open?
said
No.
about
It doesn't open?
people saying that they don't want to fish the same
You can
fishery
smoke a
over
cigarette.
and over again. Like gull's one of the fisheries right now that's changing so much that it's not the same fishery that it was.
It's awesome right now.
So
I like golf.
and the
awesome.
reason I
Goal's
want,
fun.
the reason I do want to go back to goal is because we've been there once since I started fishing.
I
the
like
Team Trail.
gold too, and I always want to fish gold.
I had
It's
it.
a fun lake.
I had
It's
it
a
very-
good tournament
yeah.
lake.
And you know what?
Gold
No,
is good.
the smallies.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
excited
And
to see what happens.
you want to know what
with
the
them
best thing about the
fuckers.
smallies is? Half the time you're catching them on the same thing you catch largemouth.
Oh
on.
yeah.
And
It's
half the time,
amazing.
largemouth are bigger than smallies there still. So
Fact.
You catch a 4-pound smallie and then a 3.5-pound largemouth and maybe a 5-pound largemouth. And on the
Catch
right
it
day.
2 6-pound smallies and a bunch of 3.5s, though. Hold Jacob's beer.
Yeah.
Is what Jacob's about to say.
Jacob's got to find
my
the
beer.
smallies on golf first, though.
largies are still gonna win. So
Got my lock.
Talk to Brandon Cizik about that. Or Evan Blakely.
Cry tube, watermelon, red flake. Eat it.
None of you guys are fishing.
Well,
trail, right?
I might be
We
throwing
are.
the Nico rig a little bit there.
Oh, that's right. You two are.
I'd love to.
Yes. Or he is, Char.
You are. Who are you fishing with?
Carter, my high school fishing partner.
I missed it. I missed the team trail so much. I fished it
fun.
one year and had a blast.
You can't get in there, or what?
I can. I just don't have the money.
He
I'm
can.
not gonna lie.
He got grounded last week.
No,
Dude,
no. I'm a pretty independent person. I just don't make enough money. You know.
He got
pull the
grounded for
corners
going
here,
out with
pull your
Teal.
leg up a little bit.
But you're in
What was
college,
that?
dude.
I said
You're
go
not
down to
supposed
the
to
corner
be
and
making
pull your
money.
pant leg
Oh
up a
yeah,
little
I
bit.
know. Well, hell, I
It's called tuition for a reason.
yeah.
You ever heard of a credit card?
No, don't do that.
I could talk to a lot of people in the fishing industry that know their way around a credit card.
Jacob's a financial.
And not in the right way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put
I'm
as
trying
much
not
on
to
the-
be that guy.
Put as much on the
That's
credit
why.
card as possible.
Yeah.
You get more points.
Hey,
all
best
about the
advice
cash
I've
back.
best advice I've ever heard from Jacob Novak is it's just money.
It's just money.
He says that all the time.
You can always make it back.
Yeah. Must be nice when you just build decks.
You can build a Hampton house.
Yeah, that too.
A thought that me and Forrest had that I think would be a really sweet idea for the trail is run it like the elites and the opens. Have your 50 boat field, you know, like we run, and then have your qualifiers. I think that would be a sweet
The problem is, I don't think you'd have enough open fishermen.
Probably.
Like right now, you'd probably have 15 boats.
Like I've always wondered that
Andy.
with classic bass, why they don't have qualifiers yet.
They could with that.
Teal, you might want to tell Andy he can't get back up. He's going to have smoke.
Oh, he's good.
Can I help you?
I want to go smoke a
Here.
cigarette.
As long as you promise to bring this back, you can go. Okay?
All right.
You need that to get in the elevator.
Yep.
You need that to get in the room.
I was just gonna try to prop the
Take a
door
picture of the number if you need help. It's 1402. Call me if you need help.
open. Yep, we're good.
I love you.
He's not
Stay
good.
going before I go.
He's not good.
You still got the other key, right?
Somewhere. I don't know where.
Well,
Don't
you're
tell
in
me
here,
you
so.
lost.
Oh
that
boy.
matters.
It's at the dive bar.
I hope he comes back.
I don't know. That's like a 50-50.
I think it's in my jacket.
Better
But yeah,
fucking
I think, you know, that's a big reason why I moved to Missouri too, is just because there's a lot more money to make.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot.
The team trail payouts are awful.
There's so in Missouri there's 2 Bass Nation team trails.
You see that the Pro-Am payouts are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17,000 for first, 10,000 for second.
If Bonham was putting on that trail, payouts are good, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You take 12th and you happy.
Yep.
It's a weird concept. I'm not used to it. Still getting used to it. You'll learn soon. When they don't give out scholarships anymore at that level.
Oh, they don't.
How old are you? Well, you're 21.
22.
Oh shit. Where you go to school?
Not about it.
You do?
Yeah.
So do I.
Well, I know you do. Why didn't you tell me?
You don't know Chuck went to Montevallo?
Chuck's a
No.
hammer.
I just fucking met the guy.
Yeah.
Are you serious? You never met Charlie before?
No, I recognize him.
I've never met you before either, so.
Well, it's a pleasure, dude.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, especially Montevallo.
You guys gonna like tug each other's dicks now? Or
I might. Yeah, why not?
You gotta get 2 hands going sometimes.
Mutual respect, you know.
Circle jerk.
You know, if we're all gonna be buddies, you gotta. Age old saying, buddies fuck. That's how it goes.
Is that how
you
it goes?
play hockey in high school?
I played pond hockey 1 year.
So like,
That was not real hockey.
like
Bondy.
you get in a hockey locker room, and those guys
Terry
are
hockey.
gay as hell.
I never had that.
My freshman year, the first thing I watched was my buddy. He was tying up his skates, right? He was tying up his skates, heads down. Team captain, senior, naked, comes right up to him, spreads his butt cheeks, farts right in the fucker's face, like inches.
Hockey players are some of the gayest
Right?
dudes in the world.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
no doubt.
Dude, hockey players are gay as fuck. And you get in the shower, and you know shampoo's supposed to be for your hair, right?
No.
And I get in the shower, and all these seniors, like, they grab the shampoo from their hair, they put it down in their dicks, and then they fucking jerk it at you. Gayest shit I've ever seen, dude. Like, when they were giving Trump shit about, like, locker room talk, I'm like, dude, I've seen it firsthand. You know what I mean?
Teal should have been out there
Like,
giving
yeah.
firsthand.
I was traumatized as well. I'm not voting for that guy.
Problem is,
I
like,
still voted for him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's the
half the
worst
people
thing
today would enjoy that. That's the problem.
What's that? What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny. We got the truck with new after.
Can't
He's like,
stand all this gay
I was
shit.
really, what I really wanted to
just
bring
all
up
he
was
said.
all this gay shit they're teaching my kids, but I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I love it.
So why not, dude? It's fine.
That's the best thing about this podcast and why I've enjoyed listening so much is the fact that it's so like raw and unfiltered.
To
Like,
an extent.
it's true.
To an
It's true.
extent. If it's guys like us, we can say all that shit.
Yeah.
If it's guys with sponsors, they have a tough time being able to talk because
Yeah.
they'll end up getting fined. They're going to
Well,
lose a sponsor.
I've just
Littner,
got
like
an
a
opinion,
BPT
that's it.
guy, Littner was dancing because he didn't want to get fined.
And
It
he
was
even
crazy.
said that he might end up getting fined for some
Yeah,
of the
we
shit
talked
that he
about
said.
splitting his fine
Really?
after the pod, like during the podcast.
What was
Yeah.
your worry? Well, like, what were you guys talking about?
Well, James, I mean,
He didn't name drop, but
he's not gonna get fined. He'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
He was smart.
But he said it how it was with how MLF runs shit and how the poster boy gets away with doing whatever the fuck he wants.
All the cheating stuff that going on.
Yeah, and New kind of brought it up and
Yes,
didn't
he
name
did.
names, but like he made like
We all know.
yeah, like
You talking about
Here's what he
Wheeler?
did. He made the white line on this side of the road, the white line on this side of the road, and the dotted
That's the
yellow
road
one in the
mapper.
middle, and we could read. You'll be able to read between. It was a beautiful thing.
I made it back.
I love you. I'm gonna kiss that sweet beard before you leave.
You're
Just the
kiss the beard.
Yeah,
Huh?
I will.
Want your seat back?
I will.
I'll take it back.
Take the cooler.
Once again,
Take the
a
cooler.
beer.
Give your asshole a break. Take the cooler. You've been sitting on that fucking arm of that weird chair for a while.
The big thing that got me is the waypoint thing that he was talking about. I don't know if we want to get into that or not, but
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, how he's talking about JT Tompkins buying waypoints. Yeah, I ain't
No
scared.
way.
I don't know that fucker. I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
That's interesting.
there's
The dude who just won the
yes, and he was talking about how there's
Opens is the best,
Yeah,
and now
there-
he's rookie.
there's a
Yep.
there's a gray area. What did he say? There's a gray area when you're leading the opens, but you're not qualified. That you can get away with shit. What
Yeah.
was- yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So he was talking about how like
Who's he?
Brian New, yeah, like they lie detector the winner of an elite event, but they don't lie detector 9 opens qualifiers on whether they cheated to get to the elite series.
Yeah.
And he said that was kind of fucked up, and I don't disagree.
So if he was in the lead, he kind of backed off a little, or what?
Well, it was just a matter of him just minding his P's and Q's, which I respected, right? But it is weird how, like, that Elite Series is a frickin', that's like the NHL, right? To these guys. You don't make it till you're in the NHL. You don't get your contract till you make the big leagues, right? So it's all about qualifying for the elites now. That's what it boils down to, right? So you get a rich kid with some rich parents and some shit on the line, who knows what the fuck happens, right?
Yeah, they was talking about lawyers and shit being involved.
And lawyers, that's the most crazy thing.
Was
You've
it-
got these defamation cases now, like they will make you Johnny Depp if they want to.
Yeah, they will
Was
get-
it illegal what he was doing, or just frowned upon?
It depends how you ask the question and when you ask it and where you ask it, and is it a lie detector, and do lie detectors even work?
Well, see, and that's the thing is like lie detectors are not admissible in court.
Yeah.
Yep, it's not a legal thing.
So technically, you cannot. That's such a fucked up thing, and that's where just, going back like we talked earlier about being raised right and being raised to do the right things is. There's like the walleye cheaters. There's just a lot of people in the industry that should not fucking be here, plain and simple. A lot of
Yeah.
people that should be taken out to the middle of the parking lot, beat the fucking shit out of to prove a point.
The Grand Lake.
Death penalty?
Parking lot.
I said it earlier. I mean it.
A fishing career death penalty, yes.
Yeah, step on your dick, then kill yourself, bud. That's what I have to say.
Why are those people still fishing though?
Who?
Right now.
The
Just
walleye
people-
guys?
No,
No,
people.
well, bass.
there's-
Who cheat?
Because-
bass people who cheat, they're still.
What,
they're still
who are
fishing.
you talking
They're
about?
still
Who
fine.
is cheating? And you're saying
Okay.
people who were raised
wasn't
right
here.
or not?
Here's
Who
the
So JT Tompkins is supposedly buying waypoints and getting a lot of help from a lot of places to do what he's doing. Yes, he is still there catching the fish and doing the work, but he's not doing all of the work. I don't.
So
Here's
might
the
not be
problem.
illegal.
And that, well, you're talking JT Tompkins. You could take it to Wheeler. That's what
Exactly.
everybody says
Yeah.
Wheeler does.
Here's
And
the-
he does. Wheeler, Will
and
Davis
he
Jr.,
apparently does. But also, Wheeler has been into it forever.
Right.
I saw Wheeler on TV when he was 12 years old or something like that.
And that's
Like,
what
so,
I'm saying.
So
Yes,
he's doing it.
you can.
He might be cheating too.
Well, it's
I
like,
feel like he's good enough that he doesn't need to do that shit.
Right.
but he does.
But he
That's
does.
the
But
fucked
he
up
does. Yeah, that's the fucking.
It's just like the shit
Well-
at Mille Lacs with all the MLF
Yep.
guys using 2 lines. Why were those guys not disqualified?
I know that was so
And why
fucked up
did-
on that Mille Lacs
And
MLF
why-
thing.
Right. Why did MLF try
How
so
do they
hard to
not
hide
know
that?
the rules?
They did.
They
just
did,
don't care.
and they just. I guess
because
they didn't.
because they knew
You would
MLF
assume
cover
that
it
they
up.
didn't know the rules, but
Because
I don't know,
did you
that's
ever read any of those articles?
I did. Yeah.
Did you notice how all of the information was buried 3/4 of the way down the article?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's
It
how
wasn't
they do
top
it.
of the page.
No,
Here's the
CNN bullshit.
Oh yeah.
essentially, any mainstream news bullshit.
Here's-
That's how it all goes.
Here's the problem with bass fishing as a sport in general compared to other sports, is exactly what you're saying.
As anglers, we develop special bonds with our equipment. There's something magical when you find that perfect jig rod and reel combo for a technique that elevates your confidence on the water. Whether it's a perfectly balanced, crisp, and sensitive jig rod that gives you the highest level of control over your bait, allows you to feel every grain of sand, every bite, and allows you to drive that hook clean, or a rod with the perfect action and taper that seems to keep your chatterbait, swim bait, or whatever it is in the back of the bass's head where it belongs no matter where you throw it, or a rod that allows you to effortlessly cast a lighter bait you used to cuss at on your old combo. These types of magical bonds are rare to find in a mass-produced sweatshop, which is why Veselka Fishing and Customs came to existence, with the sole purpose of bringing you closer to your passion by enhancing the bond with you, your rod, and the bass. Confidence is everything in bass fishing, and there's no bigger boner buster than losing a big fish, not feeling like you can present your bait correctly. The list goes on and on. Mr. Veselka is a full-blown artesian craftsman who can build you the perfect rod, no matter the size or action, custom, exactly the way you want it. He also has a wide variety to choose from right on his website, including fan favorites like the 8-foot hair jig rod, the drop shot rod, swim bait rod, the chatter chicken rod, the MH workhorse, and more. Even ice fishing. You do the whole frozen Swiss cheese thing, the ice fishing. Seen grumpy old men? Well, you can send that jiggle stick back to the antique store because Mr. Veselka builds custom ice rods in all sizes and actions too. So head on over to his website, veselkafishing.com. That's VOCELKA fishing.com to enhance your confidence on the water, feel your passion, and catch more bass, baby. Teal's Bass Galaxy is now offering intergalactic merchandise. That's right. We got apparel now, baby. Check out our website. We got a variety of apparel, hats, bucket hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts, all the finest goods. So stop on our website, tealsbassgalaxy.com, click on the apparel tab, and start looking good, baby.
Can be done, and a person can get ahead in the sport by doing it. You can't cheat in basketball and get away with it. Like, it's not going to help you in the future.
You want to know the biggest issue with bass fishing? Is there's too much money tied up in sponsor dollars to anglers that the anglers themselves cannot stand up and say anything because there's 20 guys that are standing there ready to take his place. And
Right.
He does.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That will shut their
Everybody's completely worried. Like, you're constantly fighting for your spot. Somebody's always ready to take it.
That's why nobody,
But that's why people also love people who are real.
Right.
Yes.
Like Maddie and Seth.
100%.
That's why people love those guys.
But it's like Brian New said today. If you could get all the elite anglers to stand up and say, why the fuck are we paying $70,000 a year to fish these tournaments and getting the same payout we did back in the 90s?
Even less.
Even
Or
less.
less.
Yeah.
After you factor in all the money.
Yeah.
it costs.
I've looked at some of the old payouts and it was like, wow.
Was 500,000. FLWs to be $1 million.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Littner told the story about how all the anglers got together and said they weren't gonna
then
put
they
their
all
boats
showed
in on Green Bay?
Yeah.
Like, the anglers on the Elite Series were so pissed off at one point that they all got together and said, "We ain't gonna do this tournament. Fuck that."
And then one guy showed
One
up.
guy put his boat
He
in.
texted the
Everybody
next guy.
else followed.
He texted the next guy because those anglers knew, well, if nobody's going to show up, the payday's ours. You know, and I do think the industry could be fixed very easily. I really do.
I don't think anything can be fixed easily. Nothing
Fishing's
is
too
fixed
dynamic
easily.
for it to be possible.
I do think if all the professionals and the guys coming up took a stand and said, we cannot afford to do this. This is the only sport in the world where you pay this kind of money to potentially make money. Maybe. You know, there's no reason why it can't be like other sports, but the amount of money that is in this fucking industry. Why can't it be like hockey? Why can't it be like football or baseball or basketball?
Because it's actually not as big as those sports.
It
really isn't.
I disagree.
It really is. No, it really
it's
isn't.
not a team sport either.
It's not like a national level
But it is
either.
to a sense because you're part of this company. That company is your team.
Right.
Yeah.
But think about this. Think about how many basketballs are made and what basketballs they use.
Think of how many boats are made and how much each boat costs.
Right, but think about where that money's going. It's going to the boats, not to the players.
It's going to the manufacturers, which the manufacturers should be that team that is paying that angler more than they are.
I could see that.
Hey, not to argue, but those boats do cost a good amount to make and overhead and shit.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know, and the anglers that they sponsor don't sell that many boats for those guys. The dealers do.
Right.
I was a dealer.
But I'm not talking just boats.
The dealer.
It's not just boats, so I just didn't want boats to get singled out. I've seen that industry. It's a weird one.
It cost me 48 cents to make a jig from scratch.
Fishing's unique.
Why is it that companies get $8 a jig?
Or more.
Or more.
I'll tell you why. Because it's a damn good jig.
Or is it because you put a bigger price tag on it and people are just going to buy it and the company's going to profit like a motherfucker?
Depends if you can read the box.
I mean, that's kind of the way the world is right now, though. I mean,
Everything's like
going
that.
up in price, and nobody's not buying anything
I
because
think you're describing inflation.
of the price.
Perfectly, yep.
But also in some way, if the price is higher on a certain lure, that attracts people.
No,
Yeah.
no, it does.
Yeah, we're
I
not,
I want the high price lure,
They figured
even if
that
it's a
out.
worse jig, but it's high price and it's got a good package.
If Kiyoya Fujita throws that thing, then
buying
everybody's going to buy it.
But then if
Does he actually tell you what he's using?
No.
Because he's so secretive. He's
Everybody's
Sakamoto
just taking
shad
screenshots.
and drift fry.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like he does.
That's what he says every single tournament. Those two baits.
Mm-hmm.
Is he really throwing those?
No.
Oh,
Char-
he throws a Sakamata shot.
Charlie,
a lot
what
of
do you?
I'm sure he does.
Charlie, what did you see today when this boat was by the dock?
Yeah, I was looking at his rods on the front deck. None of his spinning rods had a bait tied up at Blossoff. Had anything.
I'm the same way.
He didn't want anybody to see.
No.
Yeah.
I'm 100% same way.
But then his answer when he does good, drift fry, Sakamoto shad.
Right.
That's his answer to what he uses.
But look at those baits right now. I mean, I know with the northern audience, I don't know if it's the same, but like down south right now, you can't even find a drift fry or a Sakamata shad in stock that
Dude,
you would ever
we have
want.
we have a whole.
Are you sure?
There were some at the Northwest Sports Show last week.
Yeah.
Brian knew about 3 packs of them, so those are gone. But other than that,
We have a few.
Johnston
But, yes.
bought all the ones at Northwest.
Waypoint has a very tough time getting them too, and Ross
Yeah.
has some really good fucking connections on tackle.
Oh, no doubt. He's done an incredible job with that tackle shop, getting it from the ground running. That's not an easy thing to do. I've worked in 2 different tackle shops in my time of work, and
I bet
it's
you.
not an easy thing.
I bet you by the end of this year they get close to $1 million in sales.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Who?
Waypoint.
Oh,
It's a cool fucking shop.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It is.
Location's perfect too. I mean, talking about Tonka, I mean, great money in the area too. Great tournament
The
destination.
thing that Ross and Eric do the absolute best is the marketing. 100%.
Yeah.
The way that Ross is able to bring in all these products on limited quantities,
Yeah.
and they're gone just like that.
Oh yeah.
That's where he's making all the
Well,
money.
the incredible thing about that too is I guarantee, just from what I've seen from like college fishing, I've learned so many things that I don't think I ever would have learned. fishing in Minnesota, like different like tactics and stuff and little niche things, and these baits are gone everywhere. Every single tackle shop that ever had them in stock, it's gone. So they're getting, by bringing in those things that other people want from other parts of the country, they're getting customers that aren't just Minnesotans.
And the online sales have been starting to get
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah. By bringing in those Japan baits, like there's so much demand for that stuff right now. That's why Brian New or whoever it was asking for the koiki or whatever it's called, little dice bait. It's like, I mean,
and even down here, you got pretty much bait works down here, and there's a couple small shops that do JDM stuff, but it's
tackle. I feel like they're the hookup tackle of the north.
100%.
You don't hear me say that, so you repeat that. But,
but with me coming down here and the boat being wrapped and everything, they're starting to see more sales down here too.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
100%. That's the best thing for Ross and those guys at Waypoint is the way they're tackling it is so much more than just a little mom and pop's tackle shop.
And the fact that
it's
those
the real
two
deal
themselves are such unique individuals in their own ways each.
Yeah. I'd love to. I've actually never been to Waypoint,
You
but
gotta go.
I want to go real bad one day.
You gotta go.
It's a cool shop. It's really cool.
Hey, I'm gonna hop in here. You know how them Muslim folk like take that annual trip to Mecca?
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's like that.
It is truly an experience you have to see.
I go in. I've only been there once actually. I go in there and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just all this crazy shit, and it all looks so cool. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do.
Just the aspect of being there and just to see this tackle in person, it's like, holy fuck.
They're bringing a type of tackle to our eyes as northern anglers that we wouldn't be seeing if it wasn't for a Waypoint Angler supply.
And the thing about it is all of that tackle works so fucking good up here.
Yeah. But
so does
everything works good up here too.
But
I'll tell you what,
Kinda
after
does.
fishing down south for the last 3
it's like
years,
Brian.
They still eat a craw tube, bud.
So Brian New is telling us the fishing in Japan sucks so bad, and that's why all these lures and everything that comes from Japan is so good, is because their fishing is fucking terrible, and they've got to trick these fish the way they do.
That's why the anglers are so good too.
Right, and I feel like the fishing up north is starting to get a lot like Japan. We have a lot more fish, but I feel like a lot of these, lures and shit that are coming from Japan are so lifelike and so realistic and so finessey and perfect that they just fucking work up north.
So is fishing in the United States could become like Japan with
I imagine
it become bad? And
Give it 20 years.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be bad, but I think you're going to see the same thing that we're seeing now.
No, but look at the south,
facing.
Look at what we've seen, Char. Compared to Minnesota, we talk about it all the time. I mean, that's an aspect. Fishing in the south versus fishing in Minnesota is like night and day.
Yeah.
Complete difference.
Yeah. But see, the first couple times I fished like the Ozarks and Table Rock, I did fucking good. I did really good doing what I know from up north.
Yeah.
And the guys I talked to at the ramp that live here said it was fucking tough. I caught them. I don't know. I mean, flipping docks, fishing points, like fishing bait. But, was that dude that was saying that, or was that
Which one?
talking about just being from different areas and trying to... No, it was Jared.
It was Littner. He was talking about this was crazy, actually. He said the year he got third in AOI was the year he fished lakes he'd never fished before. Like his first time leaving California.
And he fished everything like he was fishing a lake.
Yeah, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And there's no hype around nothing.
Do what you know.
Yes, exactly. Stick to your strength. Fish what you know. Fish the baits you know. Fish the way you know.
Boys, I hate to be that guy. This is just really not my style, but it's like fucking 3 a.m. We're at the Bassmaster Classic. Yeah, we need to close this out. Okay, but we're about to do something like that's never been done before, so I don't want you guys to get out of your seats yet. We're just done recording is all.
Are we doing it?
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing it. Okay? And I'm going to videotape.
All right.
Okay? So